Yehudi, your career has been long and rich, and a lot of it has been very much in the public eye. And the next thing that is on this program is Three Informal Pieces. So, first of all, tell me about the title. What does it mean? What does informal mean in this sense? And then, when did you write this piece? What kind of where does it fit into your compositional life?
It fits into a very troubled time compositionally in my own thinking. The piece was written in 1961, had been commissioned by the International Society for Contemporary Music, and at the time I had a duo. I was a duo with Matthew Raimondi, a specialist in contemporary music and one of the founders of the Composers Quartet, which had a very active career. I was living in a converted mill, an old wood-turning mill in Woodstock, or just outside Woodstock, a building which absolutely embraced and captured my heart. I loved this place. In the corner upstairs, on the second floor, was a tiny room, which was an office for the people working at the mill when the mill was operating. I had a Steinway upright there, and this was a heavenly little place to work in. And I was utterly stuck. I mean, it should have been the paradise for any thinking, any creative person. I was agonizing. And the piece was, I finally put together this piece. I remember going over to a neighbor, the great American composer, Henry Cowell, who was at the time recovering from a stroke. His wife asked me to come over and help him learn about music again and listen to things. And I came over with a very dark face, and Henry said, "Yehudi, what's the matter?" I said, "Oh, I've got this commission and it's killing me. I just wish I just did it." He said, "Yehudi, there's nothing in life more important than a deadline." And that stuck in my mind. To remember something from 1961. In any case, the piece was performed and very well received. It was performed in New York and then at Tanglewood. My feeling about it was negative. I felt the piece was hysterical and too spiky and too revealing of what was, in my sense about myself, a very vulnerable, troubled guy.
Wow.
And so I took the piece and I put it in a drawer and I put it to sleep for 8 years. Never looked at it, never thought about it. In 1969, my colleague at Yale, Brodus Earle, a great violinist, a great teacher, and a great friend, said, "Do you have something? I want to play a concert here. Will you play with me?" I said, "Well, I have a big concert duo." And he said, "Well, you have anything shorter?" I said, "Well, I have this piece that..." Anyway, he looked at it. He said, "Let's do it." And what's interesting, perhaps, for the layman, for the people out there, is to understand that a composer doesn't always know really what the value of a particular product is. Is it his masterwork? Is it a total failure? And that judgment is often incorrect, or often enough. In any case, the piece had a new life from that moment. It was beautifully performed, but I was different. I accepted it now. I accepted this music. I thought, yes, this is really original, it's beautiful, it's viable, it's really a worthwhile piece of music.
Wow.
And so that's what it's been for the rest of its life. Now, the title has a significance also. I'll be brief about this. In those days, the academic mantra was serialism, serial composition, 12-tone composition, and a thing called pre-compositional planning. That is, you have a scheme, a plan, an algorithm, whatever it was, to write a piece. And I didn't feel music was that about that at all. And I wanted something much more spontaneous, much more free, much more really liberated to the imagination. And so the informal is in opposition to the formality of serial music.
Okay.
Even though it was influenced by the style of Webern and Berg and Schoenberg and the other great composers who who adopted that style.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Fantastic. Wow. Well, let's hear it. Here are Three Informal Pieces. Yehudi Wyner, pianist and composer, with Wendy Putnam, violin. Three Informal Pieces by Yehudi Wyner were played here by Yehudi Wyner at the piano and violinist Wendy Putnam on this Concord Chamber Music Society program in GBH's Fraser Performance Studio. Wendy, I have to ask you, there's so much going on. I mean, Yehudi typically packs so much thought and craft into such, dense amounts of time. What's it like to play this music?
Yeah, it is really intense. They're very condensed. I love these pieces, Yehudi. I really do.
Yeah.
They speak to me, and the fact that they are so personal it's such a privilege to play them with you, because here you are, and I can connect what I feel about the pieces that's personal with you and see you in front of me, and there's just so few opportunities in life to do that, and I think that, I love the form of the pieces, that they're just very satisfying. They're compact, and yeah, they may be hysterical at times, but it's what it is. It's life, right? And it's just distilled into these perfect packages that you can listen to and enjoy.
Wow. What more can a composer ask? No, really. I mean, that's the payoff when another soul hears what you're doing and hears and feels about it. That's the commitment. And I think that's above all what I aspire to do as a composer. I'm not trying to please an audience. I'm trying to reach another soul.